So let me welcome Aleksandar Ivanov, the same last name as I have. So, but we are not relatives, so it just occasion. So Aleksandar Ivanov is from Imperia Online, and he is doing marketing and business development in this company. And today he is ready to tell you about live operations and their importance for your game. Aleksandar, so please, the stage is yours. I'm just appearing and we'll come back later.
Okay, great. Thank you for the introduction. I'm going to continue in English as well because my Russian is basically non-existent. So thank you, everyone. Hope you're going to have a really great event today and the next few days that the event will be held. First of all, I would like to to tell you something about live operations and why they are actually important for your game. Keep in mind that I'm speaking from the mindset of part of the company that is dealing with free-to-play games. So you could also implement some of the advices for other monetization types, but yeah, keep that in mind. So I'm Aleksandar, part of the marketing and business development team at Imperia Online for more than 2 years now. We're dealing with all kinds of stuff in the company, so we are fortunate enough to be able to get in touch with very different parts of the working process. Let me just share what would that presentation include actually. So first I'm going to tell you about the company itself, then we'll go over the live operations and what are they, how do we perceive them in Imperia Online. Then what is the role of the developer in the whole live operations process, the role of the publisher, and then what's next for us and what could be next for you as well. So Imperia Online started way back in 2005. So our two co-founders decided they were inspired by some strategy games and decided to create really interesting MMO RTS title, which is also called Imperia Online. And during the years, this was the main focus of the company. Such genres like strategy games, RPGs, and such. But also we have done a lot of different like casual games, card games, and very various projects. And since I believe 2010, we started. It first started as a web browser developer, but then it transitioned to mobile games. And in September 2018, we became part of Stillfront Group. So the Stillfront Group is one of the biggest groups of game production companies in the world. Currently consists of 21 studios in it. We have collaborated with different studios within the group, and actually later I'm going to tell you more about that. So what are live operations and what specifics I'm going to tell you about currently. So live operations in our point of view is the management of the in-game player experience over time. So you want to have a certain player base. You want to monetize them better, to retain them for longer, and to keep them entertained. So we outlined four really big pillars of live operations, and those are events, promotions, content and features, new content and features, and community and problem management. So you in events, you basically want to give something to the players to do, just to be more interesting for them. You want to promote your in case you're monetizing with in-app purchases. You want to promote some packages in order to boost sales. You want to give them new content and features in order to keep the game fresh. And of course, with all those implementations and everything, there are always going to be some problems. So you want to have someone to take care of that. So in order to take care of the live operations, first of all, you have to evaluate your resources. Basically, you're going to have to know who is going to take care of what. Do you have the experience, the expertise to take on a certain aspect of live operations? And you have to know how much work how long would it take, because development work especially is quite expensive. So yeah, you have to allocate the right amount of resources. Do you have the experience and expertise to do it in-house, or actually you would be better to outsource some of those activities? You have to know how much would it cost, how long would it take to implement a certain module, for example, and based on that information to make a certain decision. You have to know what are your current goals. So basically, would someone in your company that is not typically dealing with specific issue can take over that issue, or they should remain focused on, for example, building a new game, or building a specific feature would be more effective for your company. So what is the role of the developer behind live operations? Here I want to give you some examples from Imperia Online, our first and flagship title to this day. As I mentioned, it was launched in 2005, and the company is named after our first product. And it is fully developed and published by us, which first of all gives us the opportunity to have our own live operation strategy. We have complete freedom over that. And the game was developed using our own in-house technologies and our own architecture. So we basically know the ins and outs of the game by heart. The game itself, it's a free-to-play MMORTS title, available on both web, mobile, as well as Steam and different social platforms. And actually, it was localized in 30 languages, which is really good for bringing more organic traffic from the players. And the main goal of the game is basically you're starting with a tiny village, and you're developing it in order to create a mighty empire by developing some different diplomatic relationships, starting alliances, go on wars, create armies, and basically try to become the mighty ruler of the whole realm. It monetizes through in-app purchases, which most often are for our in-game currency, which in this case is diamonds. And also we sell some in-game items that also are influencing the gameplay. So as I mentioned, events is something that players are seeing and giving them the opportunity to do more stuff. So in Imperia Online, we have 6 main events throughout the year, and we are trying to have several other more minor ones a month. Sometimes it's more often, sometimes it's less often, but we are always trying to give players something to do. Those events are used to hook the players and to boost the retention and the monetization of the game. and they could be a lot of different types. So basically you could do some achievements for a prize. So basically they do a mission, receive a prize in terms of your in-game currency, or even some asset, just like avatar, or basically whatever you can imagine. Those other types are thematic events, like with gifts for special occasions. So basically you're having anniversary event, you're rewarding all your players that have been with you throughout this time, or you could set a holiday themed event like Christmas, Black Friday, Halloween, whatever goes with actually the culture, the different cultures that are playing your game. This is quite important because we have done Ramadan and different styles of events. Those types of events are really effective, actually, because it leverages on the time that the player has to spend, because usually during big holidays the players are not working, and they have more time to play your game. So this is quite interesting to try to do more things during those periods. Different events as well could be some tournaments where players battle each other for, again, ultimate prize, or just for the glory to be the first among their enemies, or somewhat. It's really important to have roadmap for all your events, because you have to know what is going to follow the next one. First of all, you want to be structured internally, just to know what to prioritize in terms of tasks. And other than that, you're building player anticipation. So when they know, okay, the next event is coming in, for example, 1 month, it's a big event, they're going to, it is more probable that they will stay in the game and wait for that big event to play. And the other thing for the roadmap is that when you know what is going to happen next, you could ask for a featuring, for example, from your partners that you're working with on different sites, or even Apple or Google stores. So it is more probable that they will give you a featuring when they know what is going to happen next. Another really important point here is that you have to follow your metrics. So basically, base your decisions with regard of what the metrics are showing you. So for example, you are starting an event which is performing really well. So this would lead you to replicate the event in the future, to try to implement it more often. If the event is underperforming, you basically could skip it the next time, just in order to not waste your time in ineffective implementations. You have to see what event is boosting your monetization. So basically, you are running an event that is incentivizing the players to pay more, or some events that are boosting your retention. So you're requiring the players to spend more time in the game, and to get back on the next day after 7 days, and so on. With events come promotions. So promotions can be attached to a specific event. So we're having a Christmas event with a promotion for our packages. That's okay, but you could also leave it standalone. Promotions could be quite a lot of things. You could make a sale of a bundle of items, in-game currency, resources, whatever works for your game. You could also set a discount or basic price reduction on the already existing offers that you provide, or you could create a new offer for the time being. It's really important to keep the promotions with a set limited time, and for that time to expire in a week or day or something, because that, first of all, it creates the feeling of urgency. So the players will say, okay, I don't want to miss out on that promotion. And then you don't want to change your pricing strategy here. So you don't want to set a fixed promotion that would not last, because you're basically devaluating your in-game currency. And also you could do custom promotions. We are doing such for high volume payers. So basically in the web version of the game, when they're, for example, they have five packages to purchase, as the fifth one is the largest. When they purchase that, we unlock another one, sixth package that is even more expensive for more diamonds. So this is this is considered a custom promotion. You could also see if a specific player is purchasing more frequent, you could target them for a specific promotion as well. There are a lot of different things that you can do. Actually, in-house in Imperia Online, we have Chief Revenue Officer that is dealing with all those these variety of promotions that are going on constantly, and coming up with new ideas. So after promotions, of course, you want for the people to have something new, something fresh that is coming in the game, and you could actually introduce new content and features. This could be new items, new units, features that are complementing the gameplay. Basically, all those things are complementing the gameplay, because you are not trying to completely change your core gameplay mechanic. This is really important. It really depends on your game, how and what you could implement. This could be even some skins for a specific hero, or everything goes. This includes, for example, premium features that can boost monetization. For example, you are making a premium skin for your hero, or some feature that is complementing again the gameplay, and giving the player some in-game advantages, but really try not to ruin the whole gameplay in-game experience and balance, because you could give a player increased rate of population growth, resources gathering, decreased times of building certain buildings, or research time. But keep in mind that the gameplay balance could be really easily ruined by this. So be smart when implementing such thing. As I mentioned, skins and different visual assets. This is also really great for the player. They want to see more variety in the assets that they are seeing. You could make an art update or basic changes in the user experience, the user interface, just to make things go smoothly. This is really welcome from the players. With implementing, as I mentioned, all those things, there are always going to be bugs and problems that the players are going to face. So in-house, we're having a team of community managers that are dealing with all those problems that the players are having. It is really important for our team to interact with the player base, to provide somehow a human touch behind the brand that you have. So with that in mind, we are having a corporate blog, other than all those social media presence that we have. We're having a corporate blog with with news that we are sharing for them to be informed to what is going on, for them to see that we are really hard working on the specific title, and for them to have to have a way to communicate with us. So as I mentioned, social media presence, with that you are building the relationship between the player and the company. It's really important because you want the players to feel involved, to be heard, and someone to take care of their needs. So most often we are keeping a direct communication with someone that is having a problem, because they're very often they are giving us really important feedback and ideas on various issues, like if they are having a payment problem, some complaints regarding the gameplay, some bugs on new implemented stuff, or other, there could a lot of problems could arise from dealing with live operations. And last but not least, we're having a VIP support. So VIP support is that we're dedicating senior agents within our community management team that are dealing with high volume payers, and they receive faster response time and more attention, because you want to take care of your whales, as they're most of your economy is run by them. And as I mentioned, in Imperia Online, we started by developing the game in-house, so we had complete freedom of live operations. But here, in the case of Siege World War II, which we became publisher of, the whole approach was quite different. The game was initially developed by Simutronics, which is an American company, part of the Steelfront Group, and this is one of our joint collaborations with different studios from Steelfront that I mentioned earlier. We started publishing this game in the beginning of 2020. So since we took over the game, we took over the whole live operations and monetization behind the game, and we managed to increase the revenue of the game 3 times. And in terms of the strategy, of course, we wanted to implement all the proven methods that are working for Imperia Online, but we wanted to keep the authenticity of this particular IP while boosting its performance. Of course, when we were implementing all the stuff that we already knew, we had to take care of the capabilities of the product that we currently have. So I'm telling you that because we didn't want to rewrite the whole game, because that would be quite expensive. But we just wanted to complement and improve what is already there, and to give something from us. So Siege World War II is a free-to-play game available on both Android and iOS, and it's a military strategy simulation game where you're playing 1 versus 1 battles with real-time players, where you put your units on a map and they're going forward and try to counter each other. It's quite interesting game. The goal of the game is to take over the base of your opponent, and you have a certain amount of time in order to do that. When we took over the game, of course, we wanted to improve the events that were already in the game, and to include additional ones. So we started with Conflict of Nations, which is an event where the top 30 players of each country are forming a team, and it's kind of like multi-country type of the tournament, where there is winners and a leaderboard of all the countries that are participating. This is quite good because it's improving on the player, the feeling of exclusivity that the player has, because if they are part of that team of their specific country, it's quite hard to do that because it's a limited limited amount of people can participate in that. So this improved the level of exclusivity. And alliance wars, which is when you're participating in alliance within the game, we are setting wars between different alliances in order to beat each other, and this really improved the retention of the game, because we're basically trying to push more teamwork, just to improve the alliance and beat the others. We also included different mini challenges that, for example, as it is shown here in the one of the screenshots, for example, you're running an infantry only challenge where there isn't any tanks or artillery or everything that you can use. And this makes the game quite interesting, because there are different roadblocks that you have to go over in order to beat the game. And when you beat certain amount of challenges, you're receiving a specific prize. And of course, you're trying to implement new events like weekly tournaments and many more that are also going to be implemented soon as well. So again, promotions, we're trying to do daily promotions that we are dealing with the discounts on gems and gold, which are the game's in-app currency. We are trying to link them to events when it's possible, like Christmas, Black Friday. Just recently did Halloween as well. And here, really important tip that I have is to try to diversify and be unpredictable with your promotions, because if you are using the same promotions over and over again, now the players are going to catch up on that, and they're basically they're going to wait for the next promotion to come up, and they're not going to pay the full price as it is the regular price of the promotion. They're just going to hop on the next promotion and buy the same package for less money. Another thing, you could basically run the same promotion on different timeline and just try to use another type of art for the promotion, because that way you could attract different players that are not paying that often, just to incentivize them to purchase that particular promotion. And also, you could set different gifts for inactive players. So, for example, using push notifications when you see that the player hasn't logged in your device through their device in your game, you could basically give them a reward if they log in. For example, they're receiving a push notification after the third day login, and you receive X amount of gems or something like this. And this is used in order for you to better monetize and retain them for longer in the game in the long term. Since we took over the game, as I mentioned, we introduced a lot of new things. Some of them are the personal base and alliance base as new modules that are affecting the gameplay. We have introduced new cards that we are often doing. On top of that, we have introduced new card types like veteran cards and mercenary cards. So as I mentioned, when you're placing different units on a map, they are represented as different cards. So veteran cards are particularly specific cards that could be with improved stats, and they are more rare to find from the chests that you could buy, the crates. and the other methods of acquiring them. And mercenary cards are basically the same cards, but you could buy them for a specific amount of time or a specific amount of games that you can play with this specific card. And yeah, this really introduced a new level of strategy in building your army. Since we took over, we have introduced 16 new languages. As I mentioned, it is really important in order to attract more organic users. And we have done a complete art update. We try to make the game more vibrant, for the colors to pop up more. And yeah, I believe that it currently looks really great. In terms of community and problem management, we have tried to implement best practices from Imperia Online, like doing live streams on season reset or for big events that are currently going in the game, and those are used for additional engagement with the audience. Actually, Siege was the first game that actually had a Discord channel from all the games that we have worked on. So we implemented that into our other games in order to have a faster communication with the community. And here I have to give you another tip, that it's better for the company to create all the to have the control over the moderation, to create all the groups and communication channels, because yes, you want to have control over the moderation in case something some of the players are starting to build hate on something, and you basically cannot do anything about it. So yeah, keep in mind to create all the channels yourself. And another tip is that we have set up different metric alarms in order to follow irregularities in both events, promotions, and everything that you could get some data, some numbers out of. So basically, if we set a promotion that is underperforming, so for example, we have certain expectations for this promotion. If it's underperforming after, for example, 5 hours, and actually when this alarm goes off, we could basically see if there's a technical issue, if there's something wrong with the asset that we have used, or something like this. And what is actually next with us? First, I would like to share that in the beginning of June this year, Steelfront acquired for Imperia Online a really great game called Crush Them All. It's an idle RPG title that was originally developed by Godzilla. The game is really great. An idle RPG where you have a certain amount of heroes that are going forward and battle the bad guys, and you are upgrading them as they are going forward. And there are a lot of different things in the game to do. And it is really a great title that we are currently working on. And actually, we are also continuing to be on the lookout for new assets. So we are open on buying new games. We are actively looking. If anyone has want to discuss this opportunity, we are always going to be open for that. And for Crush Them All, basically we are trying to implement the four pillars that we are that I talked about during these presentations. We have included different events. We have revamped the whole event system in the game in order to be more comfortable for players from all around the globe, from both hemispheres, to participate and not to for the event to start in 3 o'clock in the morning for the ones. And yeah, you know how it is. So we have just recently did the Halloween event with different prizes and in-game additions. We have revamped the promotional widget. So in the game, there's a special widget where you click and for example, 20 promotions comes up, and we are trying to do it quite dynamically in order for them to change on shorter period of time. And we have introduced new heroes, and we are working on a lot of new stuff. So stay tuned for this as well. And what could be next for you? So based on all the information that I have shared, you first think of what you're doing currently. If you're building a new game, you have to since you're starting to deal with the blueprints of the game, you have to know what types of events would be suitable to go a long way for your specific game. Would that be tournaments or different types of events that you could run? Also, take notice of how would you monetize the game. If you are going to monetize through in-app purchases, what kinds of promotion could you run? Do you have events that you could sell? Are you going to implement more ads, and how would actually that work for the game? Try to have a future content plan. So don't think of it like you are launching the game now and this is going to be sufficient for the next 5 years. This is not going to work. Of course, you have to input new content in order to keep things fresh and for the players to not to drop out because everything is the same every day. And you have to keep check of your player communications. What channels are you using? Where are they most active? And yeah, keep that in mind. If you're working on existing game, check the list that I have described so far. If you're missing something, you could implement something that is new for you, and try to optimize the processes that you're doing currently. If something from this presentation would be beneficial for you, and yeah, this is basically what I wanted to say. Build your game with the thought for the future. Try to be flexible in order to be able to do changes in the future. Listen to your players, because a lot of feedback, both good and bad feedback, can produce a lot of great results. Keep things fresh. Try to implement new stuff. See what your competition is doing. See if you could implement something new that your competition hasn't tried. Some unique feature or something. Follow your metrics. Of course, you want to make informed decisions before everything. Try to analyze all the data that you have. And in case that you're a developer or a publisher, and yeah, the game is developed by two different companies. The one is developer and one is publisher. Both companies should strive to align your goals and clear out the communication in order to have very, very clear means of how the things are going to be moving forward, because live operations is something quite dynamic, and there are a lot of moving parts. So you have to have a great communication of both sides in order to be successful. This is all from me. Thank you for your attention. I'm looking forward to any questions that you may have. Here you could see all my contacts. Feel free to ask me anything, to contact me, or I can share this presentation as well if you have interest for that. Thank you. This was for me.
Super. Thank you, Alexander. Thank you. I think it was really useful for a lot of people here. So, and we have questions already. So
Great.
you have time to answer them. So, first question: are you evaluating profits of live opportunities, events, features? If so, can you give an example of feature and how you calculate the profit of it?
Yeah, of course. For example, if certain feature is leading for the player to pay, for example, this feature is required for the player to have larger army or something like this, because it incentivizes the battles between two between two players. Basically, we are seeing what is the increase of what is the increase in the revenue of during this period in comparison with period that this feature is not implemented. So this is basically how you could see how effective it was.
Super. I think I hope Evgeny, who asked this question, got his answer. So, the next one. Are you repeating your limited time live opportunities or try and always use something new? In case you are repeating it, how do you choose the period when you can repeat the same live ops feature again?
So yes, we are repeating a lot of stuff because, as I mentioned earlier, if a certain feature is effective, of course you want to replicate the effectiveness of this. How often, this really depends on the public that the player base that you have. So basically, it would not be it would not be good to repeat the same thing every day, but maybe with the same type of event that you're going to have next month, or in couple of months, you could implement the same stuff because you have already developed something. There were a lot of costs that go with developing a new feature. You don't want to use it just once. Just not try to tire your audience with this specific thing that you have done. Yes, it is great, but do not repeat it every day.
Yeah, makes sense. Definitely. People get tired of everything. So, you know.
Yeah. Especially with all those games, and all those games have a lot of different features. So yeah, just not to be the boring one.
Yeah. And the last question, what principal content of the successful life opportunities? For example, why do you think and because of what players start spending more, and on what exactly they start spending more, for energy or premium features or items, etc.?
For this is quite a difficult questions. The players are spending first of all based on their emotions, because if you're having a highly competitive game, and for example, some of them just ruined their village or something, there was a battle and they were completely obliterated, they would like to bounce back and basically give back to the other person. So they would actually try to spend in order to increase everything, to build their army faster, in order to clash with them again and try to beat them. So try to rely on on emotions. That's why I had a limited for your promotions to have some certain limitations in terms of time, because you want to create the urgency behind it. So this is again the fear of not missing the promotion. So they will have, I will buy it now because it will expire. It is the same as the regular clothing stores and everything. So they're running limited time offers in order for people to jump on now, not to miss this opportunity. But rely on your players' emotions. See what is working for that game in particular.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with you that it's really important. I am a player myself, and like, for example, for me, time pressure is really important, maybe because I'm this kind of person. So when I see that it's limited, yeah, I want to get it now. So I think
Yeah.
this is just the humans' behavior, typical human behavior. So thank you, Alexander. I think we have answered all questions. So if you guys have anything else to add, to ask, you see Alexander's contact, so you can reach him out and ask your questions later. Maybe you can, I don't know, figure out something else you want to know. So thank you, Alexander. Thanks for your time, and hope to see you again in other opportunities. And yeah, see you guys soon.
Thank you for having me.